All right, check it out, friends. This is part of a drain line that I replaced today. And we replaced it because the grade wasn't right, the slope wasn't right. It was actually sloped backwards in spots. Water doesn't flow uphill. And because of that, this is the result. Not just because of that. This happens anyway when you put grease down the sink. So this is from a kitchen sink. It's a 3-inch pipe, and it ran about 30 feet. So we replaced about 20 feet, I guess, of this 3-inch pipe, clogged up with grease. It needed to be resloped, so I just rerouted it. Just brought it a whole different way to avoid the HVAC duct work and that sort of thing. We just rerouted it and tapped it back into the main line. But that's it. That is from the kitchen sink. So about 10 feet was in this shape right here. 10 feet. Now this little opening here is because of my small sewer machine. I had taken the claw off because it was getting caught, and I just ran the cable down there because I was going in from the top and from the vent and going down. And so that's why it is clear here. You can kind of see where it was hitting, the cable was hitting. Anyway, so I couldn't get it good enough, so I went in the crawl space, opened up the clean out, and ran the big sewer machine. Took the big rigid sewer machine in there and unstopped it. But because the slope wasn't right, we just ripped it all out and rerouted it a different direction and tapped it back into the main line. But I brought this home. I actually showed this to the homeowner, brought it home, thought I'd do a video of it. That's it. That is it. This is why you do not pour grease down your sink. Now, this lady, when I showed her this, her mouth, just like always, every single time her jaw dropped. And she said, well, we don't pour grease down the sink. How did that get there? Well, I don't know, ma'am. Why don't you tell me how it got there? I've never used this sink. This isn't my house. Can you explain to me how it got there? Because I don't know. Well, I don't pour grease down the sink. Well, somebody pours grease down the sink. Somebody's been pouring grease down the sink, ma'am. No, they haven't. It's not me. We don't pour grease down the sink. Anyway, I know you don't pour grease down the sink either. Look at that, friends. Now, I do realize that, and it's just like I tell everybody, that you don't, this will happen even if you don't pour grease down the sink. Yeah, it'll happen anyway if you don't wipe your plates off, your dinner plates, if you don't wipe them off with a paper towel, if you don't wipe your skillets out with a paper towel and get all that grease into the trash can and then throw the paper towel into the trash can. Don't use a wash rag, a dish rag. You'll throw it into the wash machine and the grease will eventually get its way into the drain lines, into the septic system. So a paper towel, wipe the grease out, because if you don't, this will happen. And if you pour grease down the sink, this will happen. Anyway, that's it, friends. Look at the fly on there. See, that's a feast for that fly. That is it. Now listen to me for a minute. Let's go a little further. I want you to imagine your arteries. Your arteries. Yeah, I want you to think about your arteries. It does the same exact thing. All of that cooked grease, listen to me for just a minute. All of that cooked grease clogs your arteries just like it clogs this pipe. All that pork fat, all that Crisco, you fry something, you eat it, them potato chips. Right here, friends, take a peek. This is what your arteries look like. Right here says what your arteries look like. Clogged with grease. Yep. Look at that sweet, nice little clean cut with that Sawzall. Right through that grease. So your pipes in your house look like this, and your arteries look like this. Let me say that all over again. If your pipes in your house look like this, then your arteries look like this. We'll see you.